friends, if you struggle with cartooning or you just want some fresh ideas for your already developed style of cartooning, this is the video for you. I developed a foolproof procedure for great cartoons. You're currently looking at my shape menu. I start with a shape, any shape, triangle, oval, rectangle. It can be relatively simple or more complex, like a peanut shape or a lumpy shape that suggests a forehead and chin. Next, I chose eyes off this menu of eyes. I created my eye menu by researching the internet and looking through cartooning books. Create your own menu of eyes or use mine. Choose which ones that appeal to you and use them in your design. In the menu I created, the first eyes are the easiest. So the first 2.5 rows are the easiest eyes, and they progressively get more difficult with more complex shapes and more lines. The last row is the most challenging eyes on the menu. Here's my shape with my eyes drawn in. Next, choose a nose. I chose a nose that would fill the space. I know I'm going to need a large mouth to fill that space, and that the area can handle some texture and some darks to balance out the dark in the eyes. Next, add ears. They can be simple curves, or they can actually have some very complex lines and shapes in them, like the ones toward the bottom of the page. Make sure you draw the ears large enough. They should start at about the top of the eyes and go to about the bottom of the nose. Now for my favorite part, the hair. This character doesn't have much of a forehead, so I'm going to add just a shock of hair to the top of its head. It really gives it personality. Now watch how the same shape face becomes a different character when I choose different features from the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and hair menus. When I'm drawing features, I always draw first in pencil. This way I can make changes and erase lines. There's always slight adjustments I want to make to the curves. Because cartoons are so minimal, you want to make sure your lines are right. I don't like the pointiness of the bottom of the ear. It doesn't really go with the character, who's sort of round and lumpy. Just going to change it. And I only need a little bit of detail in the middle, just to suggest some inner shapes. Once I'm happy with the ears, then I can outline in black marker. And here's a triangle-shaped face with some simple shapes for features. Use the options from the menus that show features and faces in profile to do a side view drawing. Now that we have the faces, it's time to start drawing figures. And movement is a really important concept in cartooning. I like to start with simple stick figures in a variety of action poses so that I have a number of things to look at when I'm drawing my cartoons. Then I'll choose a pose, and I'll always almost start with the head, the ribs, and the hips. By varying the size and shape of the head, ribs, and hips, I can vary the look of my character. By making the ribs big and exaggerating the size and making the hips small, I can make a muscly looking character or superhero type cartoon. I make lots of sketchy lines, and I don't worry about mistakes because I will eventually ink the lines that I'm sure of and erase the others. I'm exaggerating the curves and making the lines of the muscles on the chest curve. These are called contour lines, and they help the figure to look round. Here's the same pose, but by using different sizes for the ribs and the hips, I can create different characters with different actions and different personalities. If you are still struggling with the figure, I can show you a simpler way to create these different figures. Start with a circle. Draw a rounded triangle shape underneath. Make 2 lines coming out for the arms and 1 line for the legs. Then it's simple to turn that into a simple figure. When you're inking, make sure to have a piece of paper underneath because Sharpie markers will bleed through and create marks underneath your paper. I always use a white sheet to catch those little black smudges. Create a scene or background for your figure. Try different color combinations and different framing. Warm colors or cool colors. Complementary colors. Or grayscale or neutrals. We've been working on people, but you can use any of the shapes from the shape menu to create characters by adding arms and legs to them. Here are some fun characters I've created based on food. Students, thanks for joining me on this cartooning adventure. I look forward to next time when we actually do some comic strips and some animation.